Welcome back, my dear viewers. How many followers we got? 1.4?
Yeah, 1.4 now. Yeah.
1.4K of you. Thank you very much. And the ones that hasn't subscribed, watch away. It's free content. We're not here to make any money. And if you don't want to press like and subscribe, we don't really care. So this comes through my feed. Xeric Watches is a Chinese brand. I believe they're a Chinese brand, but that's beside the point. It's more so about this world of micro brands. And I've always said during COVID, people had a lot of time on their hands, a lot of spare cash. They didn't know what to do with. They couldn't go out and spend money on restaurants. And then all these huge influx of micro brands and all that sort of fun stuff came on, and they were fun.
Exactly.
You know, they brought a lot of people into the industry. But then I said, when that cash runs out, micro brands is going to have a hard time. Why? Because those newcomers are no longer going to be interesting watches anymore. They're going to be other priorities. So what that means is that a lot of them will disappear unless they got something to offer.
Exactly.
And the true watch lovers, we care about complications. You can go basic complication like a subdial, or you can go complicated complications like a retrograde / minute repeater, all that sort of stuff. We've all seen Christopher Ward jump on a bandwagon of the hour repeater, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That got a lot of notoriety because that's drawing a lot of the watch enthusiasts into that realm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if micro brands are going to continue to gain popularity, they're going to have to do more than just a nice case. They're going to have to do more than just putting a regulator, a movement, or a Swiss Salita S200. They're going to have to do more and charge less if they want to survive.
Yeah.
The, let's call it luxury Swiss market, they will still make watches. People will buy them, and if they don't buy them, or if they buy them, the secondary market, the price is going to go plummet. You've got the Swiss up here, you've got the micro brand here. That's a new price. But once that person buys that new one and tries to resell it, that's going to come crashing down. And the difference between a second-hand, almost mint condition luxury Swiss watch with the branding and the heritage and all that stuff, compared to a micro brand, the difference is going to be like that. And I'm going to be buying this one, for me personally. And I know there's going to be a lot of you watch lovers out there, they're going to go, well, we're going to go micro brand. But think about this. We're comparing a second-hand luxury mint condition Swiss brand that's been around for 50, 70, 100 years or more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Versus a brand that's been around for 5 years, maybe 10 years. If you were to buy this new, that's going to drop down here.
Right. So
You know what I'm trying to say? So if your budget, if you love watches, then yeah, sure, go buy micro brands, but don't buy new, buy second hand, because they're going to be giving them away. The moral of the story here is don't spend money on new watches.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
This is not the time to buy anything retail.
Because once it's bought, it's not new anyways.
So I'm going to bring you an example called Xeric. I have heard of it. What drew my attention a lot, this particular piece.
Oh, yeah.
This is the new one. The Retroscope Jump Hour Red. I didn't know it was Xeric. All I saw was this beautiful lost in space type of feel
Very
to it.
fake.
You know that robot? Danger, young Robinson. Danger, Robinson. That watch gives me those vibes.
Like Jetsons kind of.
It gives me that vibe. I didn't even need to look at what that thing was to know straight away there has to be a retrograde movement.
Yeah.
What that simply means is that this will go to here and they will flick back. So this is going to be minutes and you got the hours. Now, I think one, it's a fantastic looking watch. It's a blend of modern, futuristic, and yet almost got that retro futuristic vibe to it. And they're giving you a complication of a retrograde movement.
Sure.
If you bought this in like a Swiss luxury brand to get that complication, you're going to spending 20, 30, 40, $50,000.
Exactly. It's pretty rare retrograde from what I've seen. It's always more expensive stuff. Yeah.
So, sure, I'm pretty confident that this will be a Chinese movement of some sort, right? But then so what?
Yeah.
Right? It's a micro brand. I'm buying for the complication because it's a novelty, right? It's a true
Definitely.
novelty.
Yeah.
And just a stunning, striking watch.
And the prices are not bad at all.
I thought this was going to be like $1,000, you know, but then I looked at it, I go $299.
It's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
$299.
Nice.
And I'm like, why would anyone spend their money on a damn moon swatch? It's a swatch with a plastic case that looks like a bloody Speedmaster. The Halloween is over. You wore that costume once. Don't keep on wearing the damn costume again because you're not Casper the Ghost anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but where is this? For what? Another extra $60, $70? They're giving you complications and it's fun. They're not going to release 1,000 versions of this. And this is where I saw this and I thought this is such an interesting prospect. People who are watching this, please heed my advice when I say this. Like, if you got money to spend wisely. No more moon swatches, no more plastic watches. That gives you nothing but just an idea of something. This is giving you some real complication. And its own brand identity, own design aesthetic.
Very unique. Yeah.
Right?
I love, like, I've actually seen Zarek quite a bit. Before I bought the Tudor, it was one of the rabbit holes I went down when I was looking at my Christopher Wards and stuff. Zarek was one of them. And if you look at their catalog, they have so many interesting watches.
So this is all complications of complicated watches.
And creative ways of telling time.
Look, some of the stuff are a bit too futuristic for me. Like, you know, they're great watches, but for them to put this much design element to give you this much effect of a complication and to charge sub 300, this is going to scratch the itch of every novice who's getting into the watch game and trying to understand how complications work, and they're going to have it in their heads for sub 300 and truly appreciate for what it is.
Exactly. For then when they buy a more expensive watch, they'll know, oh, I like this complication.
You get to learn. You see, you get to learn about the complication.
Yes, yes.
They give you access to say you're going to have it in the hand. Yeah, sure. The balance wheel might not be hand finished, and it's still that complication.
Exactly.
So to the young novice, they're going to actually hands-on at a great entry point. They're going to know exactly how their movement works. So as they get older and the bank accounts gets fatter and they're buying the really prestigious brand, they're going to truly understand what that complication is. Take me as a chump. Like, I know the complications from reading, but all these complications previously when I was starting, they were unattainable. They're giving you a lot of novelties for the price. And some of this stuff right here, you know, this is straight out of MB&F books. You get a watch like that from MB&F, forget it. You're going to be paying half a year worth of salary for it. Whereas they're giving you all of this. Okay, this is getting a little bit, see, this is $1,000, but we're talking bloody complicated.
Really
this is the novelty of not. This is Jacob & Co. level type of stuff now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A Jacob & Co. watch like that, it would be 300,000. And this is what I talked about in the last episode about MB&F. It's like they make all these complicated watches. I go, great. You see a one, you see a great, and then you start looking at these. And you're like, okay, one's MB&F, the other one is Zurich, one's $300, the other one is 300,000. It sort of reduces the value of the MB&F because it's like, well, I've got a $300 watch that just basically does the same thing.
It looks almost cooler, maybe.
Yeah, exactly, right? This is money well spent on a novelty. But again, don't go crazy subbuying all the models. Like any of micro brands, don't buy more than one or two. max.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just gonna buy the 1,000. The rabbit hole.
You're gonna buy 10 of them, 20 of them. By the time you collect all that, you might as well invest in a vintage gold, which that's really gonna hold them back.
It's something that you actually wear, right?
Instead of
having
whole box
20
of junk.
watches. Yeah.
Instead of a whole box of junk that nobody actually ever wants. Juxtapose this particular brand to Jack Mason. They are trying to associate, obviously, Texas with their branding of that Texas star. As well as the military watch.
Yeah, very military.
You know, this reminds me like a Tudor. It came on my shorts, and the guy was very proud because he's saying, you know, we've made this watch. We fashioned it ourselves by way of regulating it, and they are truly trying to get into the high-end watchmaking. Whereas I think how they got into the market was basically selling in department stores alongside of different fashion brand watches, and they were trying to reestablish themselves as a proper watchmaker. Now they're saying that this is made in USA. The movement is Miyota from Japan. The bracelet will be from China, and they're probably regulating it in the US and putting it together. This is the one on the shorts, the Strato Timer. Immediately, this is giving me Breitling vibes. You know, that's going to be about sub 3,000 Australian dollars. It's not a cheap watch.
It's not cheap at all.
It deals with $500. I said, great guys, go and support your Texan company. They're employing at least some Texans to do something with the watch. Do you want to pay 75% more just because it's a local company? How are you justifying that?
Yeah, I do love the color of that first one. That two-tone is interesting.
Yeah, well, this is the collaboration with Dr. Pepper, apparently, right? But the thing is, like, if color is your point of difference, tomorrow somebody else will come up with another color.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true.
I'm not talking down on these watches. I'm sure there's still going to be quality watches. I guess the philosophical aspect of it is that how much are you willing to pay more for something that you know can be had somewhere else? Same quality, much cheaper. Am I 10% patriotic by paying 10% premium? 20% premium, 30% premium for that patriotism, 50% premium? Where does that line hit?
Yeah, it gets complicated for sure.
Dime a dozen, guys, micro brands. Unless it's something like $300, you're getting a novelty, you're getting a good quality design with a complication that you wouldn't get at that price point anywhere.
Exactly, something fun.
So many unique elements to this, and you put that next to the other one, it's like, okay, my one looks like a Breitling, talks like a Breitling. I can get a Breitling for 3,000 Australian dollars in the grey market. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas this, you're not going to get another watch that looks like that. They say pre-order today and save 30% on these FemFace. So you can save another 30% off that.
Wow.
So that's about 300 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
This is where micro brands should be. I think micro brands will do themselves a big disservice when they start trying to sound, talk like the Swiss luxury guys. I'm going to get so much hate. I'm going to get so much hate because there's going to be a lot of micro brand lovers, and I love micro brands, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, but I'm just saying there has to be a line drawn.
Yes, I think that's just logical for any micro brand lover, because there's too many, and like if you love them, you can't have them all.
But one brand I do like to say is that lately have been doing a lot of good stuff is Longjing.
Okay,
Longjing.
I haven't seen what they've been doing lately.
Longjing are creating some really cracker watches. Like they're just bringing a lot of their vintage inspired stuff back from the catalog. Like you got the Spirit Zulu Time, which is always one of the most attractive stainless sports watches. They got their heritage lines. To be honest, Longjing's probably got more heritage than most of the luxury brands that we have heard of or we come across. Right? They've been around much longer than Rolex. But for some reason or another, the brand just hasn't caught the jet stream like all of the other Swiss luxuries. It's not very highly regarded, but I think they're making a comeback.
It's interesting how brands have that ebb and flow, right? They kind of go out of relevancy, they come back into relevancy.
Absolutely.